I'm afraid I need to make a formal apology to you all. I accidentally won the league without you being there to see it. I'll explain more in a second. I'm not proud. I've never been so close to doing a reloaded save just so that I've never been tempted to do it because I won something I shouldn't have done before. Hello and welcome to part 89 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we do have our final two games of the season, away against Cardiff and at home against Fleetwood. But as you already know from that intro, we have already won the league. And it happened against Bradford, I think. I was playing this late at night and I'm pretty sure my calculations were solid. And I think it was, who was it who messed up? I think it was this day. And if we go back in, it couldn't have been Millwall. I think it was Exeter who could challenge us at that point. Did Exeter mess up? Where are Exeter? Can't even see Exeter on there. No, Exeter were fine. So somebody must have messed up and lost a game they weren't supposed to lose. Basically, with 4 games to go, we were 10 points clear. And I knew it was a little bit of a risk, but I didn't want to drag the end of the season out forever. So I thought, I'll just play the game. It'll be fine. We'll probably win the league next time. And then it just went straight into the trophy presentation after we won it. So my apologies. But, you know, you'd pretty much seen us do most of the hard work already. We already had it all but wrapped up with 10 points clear, for goodness sake. So hopefully you can forgive me. And I do intend to make it up for you on Tuesday with a live stream of the transfer window. I'm thinking it might be in the evening instead of Tuesday's normally scheduled episode. So I'm trying to fit it into my schedule, and I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So keep an eye on my Twitter at lollujo. It will either be during the day on Tuesday, if I can fit it in that way. Failing that, it'll be instead of the episode that's out at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Normally, I'll stream from about 9 o'clock-ish here on YouTube and show you that transfer window. And it's going to be the most interesting transfer window we've ever had at Nuneaton because they've given me a lot of money to spend. £668,000 to spend. We're so far in debt, it's ridiculous. I don't know why they're giving me this amount of money. I can only assume they expect to make a whole load of championship money. But, yeah, we're not seeing much of it so far. But we'll play the last couple of games of the season. Hopefully, before the end of the season, we'll have an announcement of a new stadium. There doesn't seem to be any talk of it yet. In fact, I could probably ask about that. Where do we ask about that? Stadium. Build new stadium. Yes, we want a new stadium. We're not currently, financial situation. I don't think you're going to have the choice to avoid doing it because of the size of the stadium that we're currently stuck in. But who am I to argue? Also, we might be setting a new club record for wins in a season, points in a season. Not only is it the best season ever, just because it's the best season ever, we've won the league at a canter. It's also the best season-long performance we've had at any level. And so Tom Elliott's passed a fitness test, has he? Interesting. I mean, he's never played for us in League One. This is probably going to be his final opportunity. So Tom, where are you at? We're going to play Sir Tom Elliott for these last couple of games. Maybe just for the last game. We'll see. But Sir Tom Elliott is coming into the side. And this is the team that we're putting out there for today. So we've got Nadat in goal. A back four of Gamady, Hughes, Sawyer and Mole. With Sir Tom Elliott playing his first game for nearly 2 years. In his traditional position of Carrilero, which it seems he's not as good at anymore, but he used to be super at that, with White and Fletcher in midfield, and then Ball in behind Fisher and Weaver up front. Let's get into the game. Oh, goodness me. Do I want to see Sir Tom Elliott score a big pile of goals? It would be so very satisfying. Even just to see him score once. We need to put him on penalties, actually, just to be on the safe side. Hold on. Get Sir Tom Elliott on penalties, on free kicks, on everything. Set piece takers. Where's penalties? Penalties is there. Oh, he already is our penalty taker. Excellent. Set piece takers. So Tom Elliott, we want him to be taking direct free kicks from both sides as well. We want to give him every opportunity to grab himself a goal in League One. He does have a contract that will get him through to an appearance in the Championship. So he'll get his appearance in the Championship at some point. And then it's just a case of, will he be able to stick around long enough, keep his career going long enough to get that appearance in the Premier League? There's the potential still for both Sir Tom Elliott and Joe Anderson to play for us in every playable league in the game, which would just be ridiculous. It's something I've never managed to achieve before in all my years playing Football Manager. I've never had a player play for me in all playable leagues. Lee Hartley played in every playable league, I think. Did we ever get him into the Premier League? I know he was very close and we were getting very excited in Non-League to Legend a year or two back. But I've certainly never had a player do it for me. And to have two still with the potential to do it is very exciting to me. Although Sir Tom Elliott is absolutely a cheat if we do it with him, because, you know, he would not be in the team at this level if he wasn't Sir Tom Elliott. There you go. He was involved in that goal, though. Whereas Joe Anderson, as someone said in the comments to yesterday's video, Joe Anderson ridiculously was a 3-star player in the Conference North and is now a 3.5-star player in League One. And the assistant manager says he's still got potential to improve, despite the fact he's, 27 years old now? He's still not maxed out his potential ability either. So Joe Anderson just improves constantly forever and might still turn into a Premier League player, despite the fact he was only ever a 3-star player in the Conference North. He's just grown with us, and that's why we love him so. But I really want a Sir Tom Elliott goal. I'm not even sure how I'd react to it. Imagine if he just pops up and does what Sir Tom Elliott does. I'd feel a little bit guilty for not playing him for the last couple of years if he doesn't look out of place playing in League One now. At age 33, having not played for 2 years, if he just slots straight back into the team and looks like the same old Sir Tom Elliott. Because remember, we never really gave him a chance at all in the Football League. He had a little bit of a run of 5 or 6 games in League Two, but pretty much as soon as we got into League Two, we decided, right, Sir Tom Elliott's now just a novelty act. We'll wheel him out every now and again, but he's not going to play regularly. Imagine if he's a star for these next 2 games. There he is. Sir Tom Elliott is on the ball. Imagine the cheers when he gets the ball. Every time he gets the ball, the crowd go wild. And I was going to say, why is he not taking the free kick? Because it wasn't a direct free kick. I'll allow it. But still feel like he should probably be involved in the move. Just get him taking all free kicks. But I don't want him taking indirect free kicks, because then he's less likely to score them. Because obviously he can't score them if he's taking them. But he could get an assist, and, you know, he's known for his assists as well. Bless him, he's shattered. He doesn't understand. Playing football at a much higher level than I ever have before. I'm an old man now. He's nearly as old in game as I am in real life. That's how Sir Tom Elliott is at this point. And for those of you who watched the videos that we shot on Sir Tom Elliott Day at Nuneaton last week, you'll know just how young this man is in real life. So to be in a world where he's almost as old as I am, and he's played football about as recently as I have as well, he's not doing himself any harm at all by coming into this team and just being Sir Tom Elliott again. What a hero. James Ball, is he? I don't think he played for us in the National League North, did he? I think he signed in the conference. In fact, there's a few of them who signed in the conference. Ball, Nadat, Sawyer. Sawyer's still well established as a regular starter. So certainly Ball and Sawyer have the potential to play in most leagues with us, just not the National League North, because they weren't with us at that point. I am interested in your thoughts on what my transfer policy should be this summer. Obviously, we've got a little bit of money to spend, and any Premier League youths who are released are far less likely now to be able to improve our team as we go into the Championship. But at the same time, in the Championship, £600,000 isn't a lot of money. We haven't really been given much of an increase in wage budget. So although we've got a little bit of transfer money to throw around, we've probably only got wage budget for maybe 2 Championship quality players to come in. So part of me thinks just switch all of that transfer budget round to wage budget. Try and bring in the best free transfers I can bring in. Not necessarily just the 17, 18-year-olds released by Premier League teams. Maybe see if we can pick up some 22, 23-year-olds who've been released by Premier League teams, who've maybe had time out on loan in League One, in the Championship, have a little bit of experience. Maybe they're a little bit higher current ability than the typical kind of player we bring in. Or do we just focus on 5-star potential ability players like we always do, bring them in, and if we go down, we go down. It's like when we got promoted into League One. We said at the time, I ain't getting sacked. If we get relegated from the Championship next year, they're not sacking me. I've dragged them all up through the leagues. I'm now an icon on the club information screen. Poor old Sir Tom Elliott and Joe Anderson, they're not even favoured personnel yet, inexplicably. But I'm now an icon, iconic Kevin Chapman. They're not sacking me. I'm untouchable. Oh, come on, Sir Tom. Let's get you involved in the goal. You need to get a little bit further forward. There he is. Sir Tom Elliott again to Fletcher. Sir Tom's made his run forward, but he is not required. Fletcher tucks it away to make it 2-2. And come on, Sir Tom. Come along now. We need that goal from you. I mean, I would say he's involved in the move again. There he is. Look, just tracking forward. There he is, Sir Tom, making this little run here. Look at that run. He wants a goal today. He's in so much space. If Weaver wasn't in such good form this season, you would want Weaver just to be squaring that to Sir Tom Elliott to tuck it away. And he is not looking out of place in this midfield. Yes, he's shattered because he's not played football for so very long. He was injured just before this game as well. So that's why he had a fitness test just before, because he is recovering from an injury as well. So I don't know if we're going to play him for the entire game. So I want him to be able to play on that last game of the season, because we're back at our place and it's a treat our home fans deserve to see Sir Tom Elliott back at Liberty Way for what could potentially be our final game at Liberty Way. Like I say, there's obviously still no announcement of a new ground for us for next year, but part of me does think they're going to announce some major redevelopment works over the summer. We'll probably play our home games at Coventry for a year or two because they're just down the road and have a decent sized ground. Perhaps we should just buy the Ricoh Arena off of them. Fans generally like it when clubs relocate, I've heard. Perhaps that's not the best idea. Robbie Nadat doing what Robbie Nadat does best as well, and just making glorious save after glorious save. What a hero Nadat is. Oh, God, damn it. He's come with us for a few leagues. He officially did play that one game in the National League because it was the playoff final. Dan Fisher's been rubbish today. Let's get Ricky German on for him. I am going to take off Sir Tom Elliott just because he's shattered. And our entire back four are all on yellow cards. So let's bring Laskowski on. Did Laskowski play for us? Did he play for us in the Conference North? He did. So Laskowski is the third one who could potentially follow us through the leagues. Obviously, he's a little bit... I mean, he's a lot younger than Sir Tom Elliott. He's still only 24. Still, in theory, has potential to improve, but hasn't played much this year because Hughes and Sawyer have been so good together. But Laskowski is another one in a similar mould to Joe Anderson, who could still get an appearance for us by rights. He's not ever likely to be our first choice centre-back again, I wouldn't have thought, unless he has a major, major improvement. But I don't know that we'd necessarily need to force him out of the entire first team squad, especially if we get promoted into the Premier League within the next couple of years, which is a big if. But if we did, I would like to think Laskowski's still going to be knocking around. So we could have three of them who follow us through all playable leagues to make it into the Premier League, which would be absolutely mad. We've lost this game, by the way, which is... It's a little bit of a shame. I would have liked to have set all those club records. We've still got the opportunity, I think, to break the most wins in a season one, because I think we level with that at the moment. So if we win the last game of the season at home, then I think we break that record. But we've not done very well today, have we? Cardiff have absolutely smashed us. Where are Cardiff in the league? They're not even in the top half, I don't think. Where are Cardiff? There, 16th in League One. And they've just absolutely smashed us today. The return of Robbie Nadat in goal. We've given them 6 clear-cut chances. So it's absolutely not Nadat's fault. They've had 6 clear-cut chances and only scored 4 of them. So Robbie Nadat, as far as I'm concerned, has had a good game. And if we manage to draw this level in the last 3 minutes, and it's going to be a mugging because they've by far been the better team today. And we're just utterly incompetent. I'm surprised we've managed to keep 11 men on the pitch. I wouldn't be surprised at all if one of these defenders managed to pick up yet another yellow card and head off the pitch in the last couple of minutes that we've got available to us. But it looks like the game is just winding down now. Nobody in the Nuneaton team cares at all what the result is today, apart from Robbie Nadat, who's having the game of his life, conceding 4 goals. But he's having the game of his life, putting in a performance. And now we move on into our final game of the season. We're at home against Fleetwood. It could be the last ever game at Liberty Way. Look who's just popped up to say hello, if it isn't Luca Ercolani, who's impressed with Alex Barber. He's 28 years old now, which is just ridiculous. This is how his career turned out after work permit regulations cruelly tore him away from us too soon. He's been messing around in Italy. I don't even... What level of Italy is this? The Italian lower leagues, presumably. So it's... Oh, is that the... No, so it's like the 3rd division of Italy, is it? So Serie A, Serie B, And then this is the one that he's playing in. I don't know what's going on here with all these different colours. That just looks complicated. So, I don't know, he's playing at a decent level over in Italy. I can't move off his screen now. I've pressed too many buttons. Let me off this screen, please. Please. I'm just going back. That's why it's not letting me. Goodness me. So, yeah, that's what he's been doing. Let's see how much money he's earning. Not very much, bless him. But that's what happened to Luca Ercolani after he left us. And we do still have the potential, if we win this game, to get a record points haul ever. We've got another familiar face coming into the team for the final game of the season, Jamal Redhead. He's played 70 games for Granada now. Granada. I don't actually know how you say the name of that country or what it actually is. But regardless, he's played 70 times for them. He's not played for us at all this season. He has fallen down the pecking order massively as our fifth choice centre-back. So I would put Burns ahead of Redhead as well. He's a current international with plenty of experience, so he comes in at left back. We've got Parker back in goal, Ibrahim back in at right back. We've shuffled the midfield around a little bit, so Tom Elliott's still going to be in there, but we're playing him as a deep line playmaker, which was always the one that he was best at back in the day, but apparently he's now an advanced playmaker. He's become more attacking as he's got older, and McDonald comes back in up front with Fisher dropping down to the bench. So, for the final time in League One, hopefully, unless we get relegated, and maybe for the final time at Liberty Way, unless we have to play her again next year, which I don't know. Can you take a ground that's tiny and largely terracing into the Championship? I'm not sure you can. And maybe for the final time, Sir Tom Elliott, because, he's 33 now. He just refuses point blank to become part of my staff. And although he's got 2 years left on his contracts, he keeps signing new contracts. At some point, he could just decide to retire. So it might be the final time we ever see Sir Tom Elliott, but hopefully it won't be. And hopefully he can grab a goal and we can all go absolutely nuts. If Sir Tom Elliott does score and this episode doesn't get 1,000 likes, I don't understand YouTube anymore, because that would be massively worthy of celebration. And we need a win to get to, because our previous record points total is 92 points in a season. So if we win this game, we beat that record. So that's got to be the goal. Although we've got Sir Tom Elliott in the team, and that free kick was towards Sir Tom. He's desperate for a goal. We're all desperate for him to get a goal. He's stayed forward. There is Sir Tom out to Barber, who can't quite do anything with it. Where did we get the TV screen from that's in the corner of the ground? I don't remember us ever having that before. You would think we wouldn't bother spending money on that in a ground we're not going to be in much longer. That's weird that that's just kind of appeared. I'm sure that used to just be an ice cream van or something. Ball is in, and Ball scores, and it's one. There you go. You can see the ice cream van or the burger van or whatever it is behind that screen. But for some reason, there is a screen there now. Has anyone noticed that before? There's another one at the other end. So we've got two big TV screens. No, we haven't. We've got one at one. So we have one. In that one corner, we have a big TV screen. Why? And when did it arrive? And are we paying for it? Because, frankly, in a ground that only has room for 6,000 people, I don't know if you need that, because half of them aren't going to be able to see it because it's next to them. So that's really a big telly for maybe 3,000 people tops, which doesn't feel like it's worth spending the money on, especially when everyone's so close to the pitch that they can get a good view of what's going on anyway. But who knows? It looks like the ground has adjusted slightly as we've moved up the leagues, which is odd because we haven't really done any adjustment on it other than a little bit of expansion at one point where we put some seats in somewhere, I think. But most of it is still broken down old terracing that it's going to need work over the summer, but I don't know how we pay for it because we've given ourselves that massive transfer budget. Plus, we're already massively in debt. Unless you just get a big sack of cash handed to you as you walk into the Championship, I don't understand how we're still in business this time next year. We need that guy who bought Swindon to say, I made a terrible mistake buying Swindon. Let's jump into Nuneaton now and give Kev £100 million to play with. Then I'd get sacked within a year because I know I would mess that up massively. At this point, I'm so used to having no money that I don't know how I would go back to spending money. I'm a little bit afraid that I've got so much money to spend this summer because in 10 seasons of this save, I think the most we've spent on a player was it about £6,000 for Parker? And Johnson, I think, was about £5,000. And I'm pretty sure they're still the only two players we've spent actual money on. So the idea that we could go out and spend £500,000 on a player this summer is insane. Not that presumably a £500,000 player who's going to come to us. Unless we try and get the band back together. Reece Williams is still knocking around up in Hearts, I think. Not that we really need a right back, but we could try and bring him in. Try and bring Skelton in, who's now sat in the reserves of Derby, so we might be able to bring him in. We might be able to bring Skelton back. There's a goal for the summer, for this live stream that we're going to be doing on Tuesday. Maybe. Like I say, keep an eye on the Twitter for the live stream. I don't know at the moment, because I'm recording this on Sunday morning. I really don't know what the world is going to look like on Tuesday, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to fit that stream in. But I do want to do it, even if I end up doing it to not many people watching live, because it's at a weird time of day. At least it will stay on the channel as a video on demand, so everyone can sit and watch through it and see just how I managed to wreck the summer and do loads of stupid stuff, which presumably is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Fleetwood are knocking the ball around nicely, and Parker, I mean, that's just not very good, is it? It's very poor goalkeeping. We must find a goalkeeper this summer. But, I just don't think it's very likely that we will. And we've been saying for 6 seasons that that goalkeeper's going to be your undoing, and it hasn't been yet. We're still making rapid progress despite having a poor goalkeeper. But I don't know if we're going to get away with that. Playing in a league where 3 of the teams in it are currently playing in the Premier League. I think we might find ourselves a little out of our depth. Right, I'm bringing White on, and I'm moving Sir Tom Elliott out to Carolero, where we all know him best. And that will do for now. Come on, Sir Tom. He's still on penalties, I think. I haven't put him back on direct free kicks for today, but I don't remember us having a direct free kick. So we just hopefully we'll win a penalty in the last minute, and Sir Tom can score to get us our record points haul, to get his goal for the season. And it would be the perfect scenario. White plays the ball towards Sir Tom Elliott, but it was a poor pass, and we just about get away with it. Fleetwood, considering they're a team who are all but relegated, they are relegated regardless of what happens by the looks of it, so they are already relegated, given us a good battle here. Ibrahim with the cross towards absolutely nobody, and the clock is just kind of ticking down into nothingness, and they're on the attack again. Will a win for them get a win for Fleetwood could save them, actually? Could it? No, it couldn't. So we don't need to let them win just to be nice, especially when Posh are in the relegation zone as well. I don't want to see Posh getting relegated. That's devastating. Sunderland look like they're escaping on the final day of the season. Sunderland could have been relegated all the way down to League 2, which just shows how mad Football Manager can be at times, because in non-league to legend, Sunderland are Sunderland are a top Premier League team. But in this one, they seem a lot closer to what they're like in real life, and just a struggling League 1 team. Posh did get relegated. That's so very sad. And Hughes is now injured, and there's no news of a new ground. So I guess if we're going to get one, that will be something that is revealed on the live stream at some point on Tuesday. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.